If you're a business that's been running through COVID, you'll know now that you need new ways to get the money into your business as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible. That's why I went and found Libby James, who is a card payment expert, to see what options are out there for any businesses that are struggling with payments during COVID. So Libby, merchant services, it's an easy place to get stung as a business. So what is it that you guys do?
So we run a non-biased website called Merchant Advice Service. We basically pinpoint the problems that business owners experience within card payments or business banking, and we write about how to overcome them. So it can be pretty boring and pretty complex, but our website delivers our content in the same way you would have made in a pub. So it's free and it's simple and honest.
So what are some of the things that people do get wrong or issues that they have when it does come to taking payments?
One of the biggest problems that we've seen recently is people not keeping up with payment trends. Obviously, in the middle of a pandemic, there's been loads of increase within technology such as contactless payments, Apple Pay, etc. And particularly with restaurants and hospitality businesses using apps and QR codes. If you rewind 12 months ago, people weren't even taking card payments, never mind keeping up to date with what was going on. And there was this influx of panic when the pandemic kicked off and nobody was taking cash anymore. So if you're always a few steps ahead, then you're not going to experience that rush of panic and insecurity when it comes to how you're going to continue to run and adapt to your business.
So I imagine really the pandemic has forced a lot of people to look at different ways to get money into their business because it's essential now. Cash flow is essential. Getting the money into your business really quickly is essential for you to survive.
Yeah, definitely. Hospitality apps has been massive. Every pub you used to go to is now offering a takeaway service. You can order it via their app, or you can scan a QR code and look at their menu. Rewind, even 6 months ago, not everybody got on board with that. But as time ticks on and we're in this pandemic for the long haul, businesses have to utilise technology to stay afloat.
I imagine as well, though, if you're not really in that industry, obviously you're an expert in what you do, but I would just go online and just look for the cheapest, easiest and quickest way of getting that set up. But really, it'd be a shot in the dark, a stab in the dark, hoping that it's the right service for my business. Do you find that a lot of businesses do that?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time, but merchant services is really competitive. And a lot of businesses get sucked in on a headline rate or how cheap the card terminal is, rather than comparing accounts on a pound for pound basis.
Yeah. In
reality, with that, everybody's making their cut from you. So it's up to you as a business owner to compare your accounts fairly and then agree prices that you're comfortable with. Otherwise, you're just going to get ripped off, hidden fees everywhere. You might be getting a terminal for free, but you might be paying 1.5% for your debit and credit card rates. And that's just doesn't make any sense.
So a bad habit really is being blinded by the headline price when the reality is you could be paying triple, 4 times, 5 times the actual amount that you think you are paying.
Yeah, definitely. And it's confusing, there's not a standard way to compare accounts. It's up to business owners to sit down and run through each individual cost. And with one provider, it might be named something, and with another provider, something else. So comparing is really difficult unless you literally take all that away and just look at the pound notes. The final thing that we see a lot of is people not remaining PCI DSS compliant. For those of you that don't know, PCI DSS stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards. Bit of a mouthful, but in a nutshell, it's basically making sure that your customer data is handled safely and correctly. And if you don't remain PCI compliant, you get charged a fine wrapped up in your monthly costs, which can be a percentage or a fixed rate. Businesses just forget, and then their costs increase dramatically. And in reality, they probably are PCI compliant. They've just not submitted their paperwork.
So are there businesses out there that can help people do that?
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you're using a broker to find your card payment facilities, they should be reminding you. I always think that PCI compliance is a bit like the car MOT. Yeah. You know you got to get it done, and sometimes you don't get a reminder, but you still got to get it done. Again, there's not an industry standard, so some providers will get in touch with you, but others won't. So, and in reality, it's a way of making money from you, a business owner. So you need to just stay on top of that.
So, like you said, everyone's trying to take their cut from your business. The way you take payments, everyone wants their pound of flesh. So if I'm a business now and I obviously can't accept cash or can't accept payments in the same way that I could pre-COVID, and I am looking at new ways of getting money into my business quicker, efficiently, cost effectively, what are some of the things I should be doing if I wanted to do that?
People get a provider and they suffer from what I call bank loyalty. So you start up a business and you go to a bank that you have a relationship with already, and then you stick with that business forever. And in reality, if you're not shopping around, your costs are creeping up over time. So if you're processing online, so you're an e-commerce store, we suggest you shop around every 18 months. And if you're processing face-to-face, so you've got a chip and pin machine, you need to review your costs 6 months before your payment end date. So over time, you can then save hundreds and thousands of pounds through the lifetime of your business.
Yeah, so good habit there would be shop around, but also start looking sort of 6 months before the end of your... Do you sign a period with a provider? Is that how it works usually?
You don't with the majority. So if you're processing face-to-face and you've got a chip and pin machine, you'll have a contract just like you would your mobile phone.
Yeah.
And at the end of that contract, you own the machine. So that's probably linked to your merchant account more than people would think.
So shop around, be aware of when your contract end dates are so you can get the best deal, so you're not then loyal to one person and your prices creep up. It's a really good piece of advice, good habit there. What would your second one be?
If you're focused on cost all the time, you actually don't think about how your payments can work for you. And I always suggest that customers look at what they've already got in place. So what accountancy software do you use? What CRM database do you use? And how your payments can fit in with that. Because at the end of the day, if you're streamlining your payments, you're using things like the hospitality apps that we spoke about, like automated telephone payments, your life is made easier and the customer journey is streamlined. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, we've got that at the moment. So we use Xero, we use Go Cardless, we use PayPal, and they all take a different amount of time to actually hit the bank. So sometimes a customer will be telling us, I've paid that, but we might not see it for 24 hours sometimes. Other times it goes in instantly. Sometimes it's held by PayPal for 20 days or 30 days. So it's mad. So 100%, I am actually guilty of not doing that, I suppose. We probably do need to get a new system in place where invoice goes out, it can be paid online and the money comes into the bank as soon as possible with no delay. What would your final good habit be? I
would say to use a non-biased broker. And if you find one, keep hold of them. Because merchant services is renowned for cold calling and pushing sales. And it doesn't allow a business owner to make an informed decision when it comes to processing and what you're actually paying. If you've got a broker, then you can go through with them and you compare the banks that they use and find the best deal for you and the most suited deal for you. And then you can do that periodically through the lifetime of your business.
I 100% need to do this. So where could I find out more about you so I could probably compare what we're doing and see if I can get better payment terms?
Sure. So our website is www.merchantadviceservice.co.uk and I'm on LinkedIn.
So thanks to Libby sharing with us her good habits when it comes to card payment services. Don't forget to join us next time for some more Habitz Podcast.